Hey guys, Jeff Wettlaufer here again from the System Center team. This week we're in EMEA. We're in London here for a Best of MMS day where we've actually come to one of the brand new offices here in Cardinal Place, downtown London, for a really great day with a couple hundred of our closest friends from the UK region. We've had some great conversations with some really knowledgeable people who are working directly with customers. And I thought I'd grab a couple that seem to know a lot and just ask a little bit more about what they're seeing today with customers in Windows 7 deployment. So why don't we start with who you are and what you do.
My name's Carl Walker. I'm Director at Orinoko Limited. I'm System Center based, so that's SMUSD product suite, which is VMM, Ops Manager, Config Manager, Virtual Machine Manager.
Okay.
My name's John Quirk. I'm also a Director of Orinoko. I specialise predominantly in System Center Configuration Manager. I have 15 years experience on and off working with Config Manager and with SMS.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, yeah, I've done my time. So it's a really interesting day to day to see where the Config Manager product is heading out into VNext and some of the new functionality we're getting in there.
Yeah, cool. So obviously you're probably seeing some Windows 7 interest or discussions happening. Yeah, why don't we just say to maybe each of you, what's top of the mind right now with your customers when you talk about a Windows 7 deployment? Maybe you each have some kind of anecdote you can share there or experience.
Yeah, sure. So I think we've been very interested to see the success of Windows 7, the popularity of Windows 7, because we did do a lot of work with deployment of Vista, to say the least. What we're doing at the moment is a lot of work around the Microsoft Assessment and Planning Toolkit. We've done some customizations of that internally, and we're using that for initial assessment of readiness and some reports for customers around what the capabilities of their estate are as far as compatibility with Windows 7.
Okay.
So
that's the map toolkit you're referring to?
Absolutely, yes. Okay. So yeah, it's a pretty cool piece of kit, and the price is very attractive. So
it's free.
We're seeing some good stuff with that, and it actually gives very good detail, good data around your compatibility at a device level. Okay. So that's pretty cool.
Great map toolkit, great information. Okay, so how about you, Carl?
Well, for me, it's all about the apps. Okay. So applications.
You guys were an app company, weren't you?
We were originally, yeah. So we were sort of into the packaging piece, which is MSI. Then we moved into AppV, and we love that stuff. It's all what we do. But it's all about the application, especially in 7. So companies have skipped Vista, so they've not had that pain, with the UAC and all that kind of good stuff. So they've come straight from XP, and now they're going to 7. So they've got to go through that process. Yeah. So obviously we're looking at things like AppV to the user-centric provisioning and all that kind of thing, and also the integration with Configuration Manager. We've just put one of those in recently. Customer loves all of that stuff. The fact that it's a little bit easier to package the applications, to sequence the applications, but also the customers are starting to talk to us about MedV, and I know there's not an awful lot of popularity around that in the blogosphere, but actually there's customers that are interested in that. Right. They originally started the conversation with XP mode, but then we move into MedV because that's your enterprise solution.
Yeah, XP mode, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so they all talk about, because they've all played around with that stuff and their new shiny Windows 7 laptop. So then we have the conversation around MedV, and obviously that leads to the whole MDOP suite. We've got AppV and all of that, and basically we're looking around that, but also the optimized desktop, so extending out the virtualized piece for solving some of those pain points. So maybe we're not just looking at OS deployment to a physical machine anymore. Maybe we're looking at optimizing the desktop, so we're looking at maybe you need a virtual machine, or you guys need just a presentation server session.
Usage scenarios.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So it's all around the usage scenarios. There's a Microsoft slide out there that I'm sure I've seen more than once.
There's probably a slide on that.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm focused at the moment.
Okay, so you're seeing kind of different kind of virt solutions for different types of Windows 7 scenarios.
Yeah, and again, that's driven by the applications. And the customers want Windows 7. There's no conversations anymore about why do I need this. They want this stuff. And so they're very eager to look at any of the options available to them to actually push the applications into maybe virtualization so they can adopt Windows 7.
Okay, so you've actually mentioned a couple of things there. You've mentioned things like Application Virt, which is a real app-to-app compatibility solution.
Fantastic.
MedV, app-to-OS compatibility. What about things like where maybe either of those doesn't really fit? You're looking through things like RD or TS or even VDI. Are those interesting topics as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So customers, all we're hearing at the moment is proof of concept around VDI.
Really?
Yeah, so customers want to look at VDI. Microsoft have got an offering now with 2008 R2. Obviously there's the Citrix integration there. So there's various product suites around that. So it's about basically you don't just want to deliver a physical machine to a user with an OS on it. You want to deliver a workspace to a user.
Gotcha.
So they've got a layer on the operating system, then their applications, and then user personality, the group policy redirection, folder redirection, things like that. So so we're having conversation now, and they want us to start looking at setting up proof of concept, a VDI. There's a customer recently wanted to talk about Windows 2008 R2 and the VDI solutions there.
Okay.
That thing can only grow. And that's one of the things that we've certainly seen from Microsoft, and the customers are seeing a lot more now. There's a high adoption of enterprise agreements based on the fact that this stuff's just getting better.
Really?
Yeah, so
cool.
it's all about the optimized desktop, Windows 7, and then obviously the applications from that.
Cool. So we got the map toolkit. John, Carl, you've talked about some bit of Vert stuff there with some real-world customer experiences. Thanks both for your time. Orinoko, guys, we'll put the link up here for you. Check them out here in the London area. And thanks for joining us today on the blog. We'll see you again soon.